Hi, my name is Chris Harper. I'm an outside salesman for MagPower, or Magnetic Power Systems. We're a manufacturer of tension controls and brakes, sensors, dancers, clutches. So we are looking to talk about magnetic particle brakes and clutches versus speed control. If we look at a typical unwind in a continuous flexible web application, we need to control the tension on that unwind before it goes into some process zone, whether that's a 8-color press, or we're making a box out of it, or we're slitting it into different length webs. So the unwind tension can be controlled using dancers or tension sensors, but we have a choice. Do we put a magnetic particle brake on the unwind, or a pneumatic brake, or do we put a servo on the unwind? In the old days, years back, the option was to put a brake on there because we couldn't control motors to match the speeds well enough to get the tension control that we want. As encoders get more and more finite and our technology allows the drives to talk to each other, those things are approaching being as good at controlling the tension on an unwind as a magnetic particle brake and a sensor, except that they're still using a sensor as an input, a reference of the tension. So magnetic particle, they produce torque independent of speed. They make it easy to control the tension on an unwind. We read the tension with sensors, apply a PID correction loop to that brake to control tension accurately. There's not a lot to it. Sensor, controller, brake. Control the tension accurately and we're good to go. We can use servos on the unwind. The servo has to be set up so that we know exactly what the diameter of the unwind roll is, so we can try to match that effective line speed to the speed down the line that is setting line speed. So those two drives have to talk to each other. We need to know very accurately what the tension or what the speed is of the line, and calculate and know what the RPM of the unwind roll is to try to match that. So the speed system can approach being as good as a simple brake on an unwind, but it gets expensive. By the time you do those encoders and the communication to talk between those two, you're talking about possibly spending $30,000 on an unwind, where a simple MagPower magnetic particle brake closed loop tension controller with a tension sensor can do the same thing for $9,000, $8,000. So I would always go magnetic particle where I can. Speed seems to add complication and cost. If we do get it right and use servos, that's great. The question is, there's so much programming in there that if the customer decides later on that they need to run a 1/2 mil film instead of that 2 mil that they tuned to, they may need to adjust that relationship, and unless you're the engineer that programmed those two to talk together, or you're a drive specialist, you have no control over that. So I also like magnetic particle because you have a PID loop on a controller that's sitting on the side of the machine. Simple to change. If there are any questions, there's manuals online, and you call 1-800-MAG-POWER and we'll help you out with your adjustments.